Today on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, get ready for a workout.
We will meet a fitness celebrity juggling not one, but 3 businesses.
Plus, we'll take a zip through the adventure park at Virginia Aquarium and talk to a personal fitness instructor giving back to the community.
Get ready to work up a sweat because Hampton Roads Business Weekly starts right now. Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Cheryl Tan.
And I'm Zach Miller. Welcome to Hampton Roads Business Weekly, a weekly look at the businesses and entrepreneurs making an impact right here in Hampton Roads.
Today we're talking about the business of exercise, from personal trainers to celebrity fitness models. But we're going to start at the adventure park at Virginia Aquarium. Find out how they made the transition from tourist attraction to a year-round destination. The Adventure Park at Virginia Aquarium just celebrated its 2nd anniversary. We're thrilled to be inside talking with one of the Adventure Park's owners, Kima Giroux. Kima, so nice to talk with you today.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you as well.
So 2 years, it really feels like it's been here much longer, and it probably feels like that to you as well. How did you get your start in putting this entire plan together?
I've had some practice with ropes courses for several years. I ran the school division's ropes course, and in about 2012, they were going through some budget cuts, and I knew that I was going to need to come up with another option. So another local owner who was a friend of mine and I began to look around, began to search for partners who could help us make this dream a reality, and began to reach out into the community to find out how we could best fit and provide people an opportunity to create relationships while climbing.
It's here right now, and it seems so easy when you talk about it, but I know it had to have been anything but. Back in 2012, you were an educator with the Virginia Beach school system,
right,
and you teamed up with the right people. How is it that this was the idea that you came up with? How did the idea come about?
Well, we'd had students coming into our ropes course daily and talking about how they wanted to come back for a birthday party, or they wanted to bring their parents out there for the weekend, and it just wasn't something we were doing. Right. We were very team development, leadership training focused. So I knew that there were kids that were hungering for an opportunity to climb around in the trees, and I mean, this is like the tree house my dad couldn't build me. So I knew that there would be a draw. Adventure parks have become increasingly popular throughout the United States, and so my partner and I began to do some exploring, traveled around, looked at different parks and how they were set up, and really liked Outdoor Venture Group, and that's why we teamed up with them to kind of pull the project together.
Right.
So that was one sort of partnership that we formed.
What are some of the challenges that you faced early on? Maybe some buy-in challenges, maybe some challenges in letting people know exactly what this was, as it was new in the area.
Sure. So I think that one of our first challenges was trying to figure out where we wanted to be located and how we could be located in the most ideal place in Virginia Beach. We looked at different properties, but we also knew that the aquarium had been working with the city to develop a plan for this area that included something in the air. So it was almost like the aquarium was working toward it from one end, we were working toward it from another end. We got together and talked, and then they started the formal process of getting people to submit proposals. We were one of 3 people that provided them with a proposal, a formal proposal, and our company was chosen. So that the whole writing process of that proposal and coming up with that business plan was really tricky, and the need to be able to speak the language of the people that we wanted to be able to partner with was also really important. I had an awful lot of help from an organization called SCORE, retired businessmen who volunteer to reach out to people who are starting up. They were fantastic for me. They really helped me crystallize the vision and ask key questions and work with my partners to develop something amazing.
I know that you focus probably primarily in the summertime on
perhaps tourists, but
Right.
then in those off seasons with
Right.
team building and
Right.
creating opportunities for people to come here in big groups.
Right, absolutely. So the summer is huge for pay for play. People love to come here and play, and sometimes they come multiple times. We even have evening programs at night where we light up the trees, and it's really beautiful, and we have musicians come in. So we try to offer really fun play activities. The team development programs really came first from companies that wanted to do corporate outings, and then with the background of some of the folks that work here, we really knew that there was a need in Virginia Beach to provide facilitated hands-on team development where people were talking about communication, collaboration, and problem solving without even realizing they're doing it because they're laughing too hard.
That's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah. And then they climb in the trees afterwards, and some of them tell us that they've done amazing things that they never would have done before.
Kimitro, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Really appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Hampton Roads? We want to hear from you. So if you have questions or comments during the show, tweet us at HR Biz Weekly. We're back after the break with my interview with Jim White, a personal trainer who's giving back to the community. Stick around. Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. We're here with Jim White Fitness of Jim White Fitness. Jim, how did you come up with the name?
Well, it's funny. I really didn't want my name on the business when I first started. I thought that everyone would want to come to see me. And then, of course, I knew I wanted to grow it. And so I didn't feel comfortable with my name being on it. But I talked to a lot of business professionals. They said, you are the brand. And I went with it. And it's been a success so far.
You've grown into 3 different locations, 2 in the beach, 1 in downtown Norfolk. How did you get your kind of footprint here? You're not from the area, you're from Cleveland. Go Cavs, right?
That's right.
How did you decide that this was a market that you wanted to be in, and how have you grown?
Just starting off, I actually utilized the Small Business Association and SCORE. And I'd always recommend that because I didn't have I had a bachelor's degree in nutrition and exercise. I knew that field, but I didn't have a business degree. So I learned everything from not only them, but also from a lot of entrepreneurs, and I took them as my mentor. And I developed a business plan. I scoped out my demographics. It was a very high-profile area, a lot of income, big health. I mean, Virginia Beach is one of the fittest cities in the United States. Yep. So I recognized that. And when we started in 2005, there was a very low demographic, a very low competition. So I recognized that, and that's where we started our first studio in Great Neck area.
A lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what a business plan looks like. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what demographics look like. From your business plan, how extensive was it? What kind of were the high level stuff on it?
Well, when I first started off, it was very non-extensive. It was just the basics. But as our business grown, we didn't need loans in the beginning, so we didn't have to provide a very extensive business plan. But as we've grown, our business plan is 130 pages right now.
Wow.
And we've used LivePlan as our basis, and the thing I love about LivePlan is it continues and grows as the
It's like an online
software that you can continue on updating. But we are very detailed in every aspect, from our exit plan to our future growth, to talking about our milestones, to our marketing strategy. And it's taken years to put together, but it started off very, very short.
Over the years, you guys have grown from 1 location to now 3. How did you understand your numbers, your competition, your market, that you were going to be able to be successful in opening a couple other locations?
I think at first we didn't. We just went on a whim. We kind of rolled with the punches. We went through some mistakes and we improved, and that whole process. But as we got further, we started working with professionals, and I think that was very important for us, finding an excellent lawyer, an outstanding accountant, a great marketing and branding specialist, and they helped out and filled in the gaps where we didn't. And with that, what we did was we were more strategic. We came with our break-even point, and it was just a numbers game. We knew that if we went into a market, we knew how many clients we needed to get to stay afloat. We knew how many to improve and grow to our next one. So now it's more calculated rather than before it was a little more risky.
One thing that I think is really unique about you as well is you are the national spokesperson for What is it?
The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics.
You have your own podcast. You're giving back and creating content, educating people, similar to the show. How are you understanding what you should get into? How are you becoming a spokesperson? How are you kind of being recognized and getting your content out there?
Well, I wanted to give back to the public, and that's why one of the things we did was we started a foundation, fitness foundation, where we provide 90-day programs for the homeless, battered women, at-risk youth, and then we help get them jobs. So we work with a lot of companies. Also being a spokesman, I get to talk to millions of Americans and be able to shed the light of fitness to them. But I recognize that there's a need for this, and I was led to do this. And with that, it's not only great branding, but it also is bringing that message. And also starting our restaurant program, which we're at 70 restaurants now in the Hampton Roads area. I felt that that was a huge need. A lot of our clients were asking, we want to eat healthy, and what restaurants should we go to? So we started to partner up with the restaurants and help the restaurants gain more business and also provide healthier options.
Love what you're doing. Keep up the good work, Jim.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
She's a fitness model, author, clothing designer, and entrepreneur. Don't miss my conversation with Ashley Horner next. We're thrilled today to talk with Ashley Horner, the owner of American Sled Dogs in Virginia Beach, the Valkyrie clothing line, and American Brew off of Shore Drive, also in Virginia Beach. Ashley, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You came to Virginia Beach from California 2 short years ago, and in that time, you've created these 3 businesses.
Yes.
What was the idea behind all of them?
They were all led by passion. The training facility, I really needed a good training facility out here for myself because at the end of the day, that's what I do. That's kind of my forte. It's what I'm good at, what I'm like genuinely really good at. And so I stepped into a few of the gyms out here and like the training areas, and it wasn't my jam, or kind of I didn't really feel at home there, and so that kind of led me to wanting to open up my own training facility. So not only could I have a place to train, but I can help motivate and inspire hundreds of other people in the area.
Creating a solution to your own problem.
Absolutely.
Then where did businesses 2 and 3 come from?
So next came Valkyrie clothing line, and so with Valkyrie, it was just kind of for fun, you know, like it just started out like I just wanted to make a few different tank tops, some shirts, and then it just kind of snowballed. Like anytime I put something up for sale, and everything's done online, it's sold online, anything that I put like a new piece up and it sells out within 24, 48 hours. Yeah, so, and it's a lot of fun just being able to like create items, and plus I get to wear it. So again, another problem solver is like I wanted like some cute clothes that I could wear, and then I can like make money doing it. And then American Brew, that opened 4 weeks ago. And it's right off of Shore Drive, and it's a coffee whiskey shop. And in the community, like that area, it really needed a good coffee shop to for people to come and meet and have a really good cup of coffee. And then at night, it kind of it's kind of cool to see the transition from coffee to whiskey. And then we have live bands, not every single day of the week, but you know, weekly. And it's kind of neat to see just like the community come together in that area to have a good coffee shop.
People may recognize you. You're an international fitness celebrity with a large social following. So when you're talking about putting something online and it's selling out, people might be thinking, I want some of that. Talk about how you're able to attract a large audience, and then how do you get them to buy what you're offering?
Right. I would say in a recommendation to anybody who's wanting to do like an online business or trying to get into like social media, being transparent is huge to me. And I think that there's so much like smoke and mirrors out there these days that, you know, it's kind of, you don't really know like what, you know, who's being real or who's not, or like, you know. And so for me, like one of the main things that I stood my ground on from the beginning is that I will continue to be transparent to everybody, and I will only represent and, you know, show the world things that I truly love and things that I genuinely care for. So, and it goes to like the companies that I represent, like they are good companies that I 100% believe in them, and you know, they 100% believe in me. And so it's a good relationship, and the whole transparency thing is huge.
3 businesses, even for a serial entrepreneur, 3 businesses at one time is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're going to have help.
Yes.
Or you need a lot of help.
I do.
To make all of this happen. How do you find the right people to join your team, to bring into the family, if you will?
Yeah, I like how you worded it, the family, because that's truly what we are. My circle's really small, and the people who work for me, they're like some of my best friends, and I'm really close to them. It's important that they have the same characteristics that I do, the same character, and and overall, nobody's gonna have the exact same vision that you have, but in order for you to lay out, be like, this is my vision, this is what I wanna do, and this is how I wanna do it, and for them to see that and be like, I totally get it. And it's kind of like a trust thing that starts. And but yeah, if it wasn't for the people, the small circle of people that I have helping me, I wouldn't be able to do my job the way that I do it.
Sure.
So, and on top of that, I have 3 little boys that I'm taking care of, and so it can be a lot, and my work time, people say, well, how do you have time for yourself? Or how do you what do you do for fun? This is fun for me. This is my life. I'm doing this because I love it. The moment I stop loving what I'm doing, I'll stop working. I'll stop doing this because I just won't care anymore. But I have passion for what I do, and I truly love it, and so I'll just keep doing it.
Congratulations to
Thank you.
Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. Today we're expanding our series on growing your business. I spoke with Dr. Gregory Stone, a professor at Regent University. We talked about the dangers of growing your business too fast. Take a look. One problem a lot of businesses would love to have is probably to be in growth mode, but can you grow too fast?
That can sometimes put a growing business out of business faster than if you have slow, steady growth. And let me explain that. You may be producing a product that you're used to making between 800 and 1,000 per month. Mm-hmm. And everybody is dreaming, the entrepreneur is dreaming about getting that order for 10,000. And suddenly the order comes in for 10,000. That's 9,000 more than you have been producing.
Sure.
Suddenly you have to go out and buy the raw materials, the inventory pieces to be able to build it. Do you have enough money? Do you have enough cash flow? Do you have enough credit line to be able to go in and be able to buy that in the first place? So it sounds like a sudden sharp increase in sales, a sudden sharp growth of what's going on. It would be the most wonderful thing that would ever happen. And we tend to focus on the increase in revenue.
Yeah.
We tend to ignore or totally overlook the increase in expenses and overhead and other things that come along as a result of that. Those have to be factored in.
And if it's an online business, similar things, it could be, the storage space for that, the customer service that has to go with it, the more overhead, the more employees to do this thing. So whether it's a brick and mortar manufacturing or online business, obviously growth, there's going to be challenges with it. You talked a little bit about some of the financial struggles or challenges that could be there. What can someone do or be prepared to do to make sure that credit line is okay? What type of things can people do to try and be prepared and be ready for the financial aspect of that?
Well, number one, understand many small businesses don't even have a credit line. That may be worth on that first big order, or when you see an increase or growth occurring, to go talk to your financial institution, your bank, your credit union, whoever you're doing business with, about establishing a line of credit that you can chip into to handle those expenses and pay back down as soon as you get your invoice paid from your vendor. That's number one, look at being able to do that. Understand that a large order can function as collateral. If you have an order for 10,000 products, and that has value, those products are worth whatever you are charging that particular person on that order per product times 10,000, and the bank will often look at that and use that as collateral to establish a line of credit against you, which you can borrow, pull the money in to be able to do that. So understand you may not have value in what's sitting in the way of cash in your checking account, but your large order may function as a form of collateral for short-term loans or short-term chips into credit to be able to get you what you need to fulfill that order.
Sure. What are some of the companies that you've seen grow in a correct kind of way, that have kind of looked and forecasted correctly, knowing so that they can set things up and be in a more successful manner?
Put 2 words in front of growth. Manage okay? Manage the growth. As you see, you're entering a new market and there's a chance for a big order to come in. Figure on those things when they're going to happen, as they're growing, as they're increasing on a slow pace, so you can increase that. That's what you need to do. You need to plan for it. You need to strategize for it. So manage and plan.
What type of tools do you see people using to manage the growth in that situation?
Again, I would tell the entrepreneur, go back to those employees that you got. They know how the systems work. They know how capacity works. They know how to make things more efficient. They know how to be effective. Get their input for how this can be done. Look at all of the elements and tap in again to their expertise, because a lot of times they already have the solutions floating around. They're just waiting for you, the owner, operator, entrepreneur, to ask them to give you the input to be able to manage how that can occur in a very smooth transitional manner.
So as an entrepreneur, make sure to bring on your staff, your team members to really help you manage the growth.
Absolutely. They already have the solutions. You just need to tap into what they already know and utilize their expertise, their knowledge on what they do every day.
Great.
That wraps up another edition of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at HR Business Weekly.
There, you will find segments from previous shows, plus some great behind-the-scenes pictures and videos. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan. We'll see you next week.
Hampton Roads Business Weekly, sponsored by Regent University and produced by ABC 13.